Tory MPs are furious at ministers as they are axing key levelling up pledges to move more civil servants away from London. I'm going to read into this more from The Guardian, guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an article here from The Guardian with the headline that Tories furious ministers axe levelling up pledge to move more civil servants from London. Offices in Birmingham and Newcastle said no longer align with strategic requirements. Oh, that's not good. Let's read into it. Tory MPs are demanding urgent explanations from ministers over the levelling up agenda after an official report said plans to move thousands of more civil service jobs from London to Birmingham and Newcastle have been scrapped. The government's policy agency, the GPA, which falls under the Cabinet Office, said in a brief reference to its recent annual report and accounts that a decision had been made by ministers to axe the proposals after a review identified that no longer aligned with strategic requirements. This was despite the fact that more than £1 million had been spent on the two projects as part of a flagship government to drive and spread the civil service out of Whitehall and boost growth in the regions. You know why they're really doing this? I just think it's I just think they just look like for me it's like an attempt to hold on to power in some weird sort of way. What's infuriating is that they've spent money on doing this as well, taxpayers' money on building on these projects, and it's just been thrown in the drain, and there's not been a clear explanation why. Probably by the time you see this video there might be a more detailed explanation, but it's just so it's so infuriating. You know, we've seen, like, there was a video from Michael Lambert who talked about how much public taxpayers' money had been wasted, and I'll probably put a link to that video in the description, and it's quite staggering. And we don't even know what the full amount is, and yet there's so much taxpayer money being wasted that we don't even know about, that's behind closed doors, that's going to be revealed within the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years times, and it's going to be eye-wateringly staggering. And then in 50 years time the next generation are going to be asking us, how could you let such a bunch of buffoons run the country? Because it's true, they're going to be asking us that. More than £1 million has been spent in the last two projects. Like, it may not seem like the billions, but it's still £1 million. Amid signs of Cabinet Office panic over gathering backlash to Tory MPs, John Stevenson, who chairs the Northern Research Group, the NRG, of Conservative MPs from Red Bull seats, described the move as a step backwards. He added, "I expect a full explanation on Parliament's return and alternate policy initiatives to ensure that the movement of civil servants does proceed. I will also be asking the Public Administration and Constitutional Affairs Committee to look at this issue. Many Tory MPs in the North and Midlands are becoming increasingly nervous that failure to deliver on levelling up will put them in increasing danger of losing their seats at the next general election." Bruvs, you guys are going. Like, have you, like, the question, like, have you guys actually made a difference to the people up north? If you live up north and your MP is a Conservative, ask yourself, have that Conservative MP made a difference and impact in your life? Comment in the down below, let me know. Because I don't think there'll be many people saying that they have made a massive difference in my life. Just saying. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be holding on to their seats, many of them. The government has a long-standing commitment to move 22,000 civil service posts out of Whitehall by 2030. Several thousands have already moved into towns, in cities including Glasgow, Darlington, Wolverhampton, Birmingham and Newcastle. So they've already started some of it. So there's some in Glasgow, Darlington. They've moved some already into Birmingham and Newcastle. But the decision to axe the latest phase affecting Birmingham and Newcastle has raised questions about the level of commitment to completing the task, with government insiders citing the short-term costs implemented as a brake on progress. Short-term costs, yet they seem to find magic money trees around all the time, don't they? The Conservative Mayor of West Midlands, Andy Street, has said the project in Birmingham has fallen victim to the trend towards working from home. It has. Last month, the Cross-Party Public Administration and Constitutional Affairs Committee was highly critical of the way the government was carrying out the project. While noting the government said in March that it had already relocated 11,000 posts from London, it added that a lack of clear information published by the Cabinet Office makes it difficult to judge how substantial its achievements are for a variety of reasons. It accuses the government of adopting a bowstring approach to reporting progress, which is likely to give an exaggerated picture of its achievements. It also criticises the government for failing to publish any underlying research that supports its high-profile statements about the economic benefits to be delivered by moving posts to new regional offices. The NRC is expected to raise the issue again when it tables its manifesto for the North at the Tory Party conference in Manchester. I'm surprised. I still think this having it in Manchester is quite, in a Labour heartland. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. The government's current commitment to relocating large numbers of civil servants in posts out of London dates back to the Conservative Party's 2017 general election manifesto. In the 2020 budget, the then Chancellor Rishi Sunak translated this commitment into the specific target to move 22,000 civil servants out of central London by the end of the decade. In the 2022 Levelling Up White Paper, the government further stated that the 22,000 posts will be moved out of Greater London and that the first 15,000 will be relocated by 2025. This weekend, the government spokesperson suggested what has been written in the GPA's report has been misinterpreted and that the plans were, in fact, still all firmly on track. We are committed to launching a new government hubs in Birmingham and Newcastle, spokesperson said. Officials said the 11,100 roles would be relocated to Birmingham from London by March 2025 and that 850 had already moved. In addition, 350 more jobs will be relocated to Tyneside by 2025 on top of the 400 already relocated. So the government has outright denied this is happening. So that's important to state that. So the government have come out and they have outright denied that. I think it's like the process of doing it is like, we want to distribute. We don't want everything centralised in London anyway. We want devolution. We want more powers to states and locals and whatnot. Pass that power on. But this is more about just moving the civil servants from London and kind of spreading them a bit more around and about, which I think is a good thing. And I don't like the fact that there's potentially the scrappages of doing it, especially considering we as taxpayers have already paid into it. So yeah, I would say continue with the project, and I kind of would hope Labour would carry it on as well. And if it's a case they need to be together, then obviously you plan about it. But it's much easier to communicate these days now. You don't always need to be together. Teams, Zoom calls, all that kind of stuff. Now with the technology we have these days, it's quite easy to get people together as long as everybody's makes it and whatnot. But I don't like, as long as it's not going to cost civil servants jobs, because civil servants have already lost enough jobs as it is, guys. Let's be clear. And then I say that and I realise that, well, they're moving from London to up north, so not everyone's going to be able to work there. But there are plenty of jobs in the capital, that is for sure. But what do you guys make of this? Do you think it's a good thing that they're doing this, that they're moving more civil servants out of London to other cities? The government says that they denied this. What do you guys actually think on that? Do you think it's good that civil servants shouldn't all be boxed up in London and should be working in other hubs and that kind of thing? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm kind of eager to hear what you guys think of it. On it. Like, share and subscribe as always. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.